Let me start this video by showing you a few pictures, some of which you've already seen before, and asking you what you see. What do you see in this picture? You may see a rabbit. Here's the rabbit's eye and ears. Or you may have seen a duck. Here's the beak. Okay, what do you see here? Some of you may see a vase. Others may see two people having a staring contest with each other. What about this one? You may see an old lady. Here's her eye, nose, mouth, and chin. However, some of you may have noticed a young lady. Here's her necklace, chin, ear, and nose. Remember these two examples of the dress that was either white and gold or blue and black, and Vans shoes that were either pink and white or teal and gray? To end the debate once and for all, the dress is white and gold and the shoes are pink and white. In each of these examples, what was the right answer? Is it a rabbit or duck? Old or young lady? Blue or gold? The same way that there can be several interpretations of the same exact picture, there are several ways to interpret different events that happen in our lives. There's no right or wrong way to think about events or situations that happen in our lives, either past, present, or future. When something happens, we tell a story to ourselves to make sense out of the experience. That story can either be limiting or empowering. If this logic makes sense to you, then it also makes sense that your perception is your reality. Your perception is your unique lens of seeing the world, which shapes your thoughts, feelings, and actions. There's a key psychological concept within cognitive behavioral therapy, otherwise known as CBT, called cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing means consciously changing your thoughts and feelings to overcome cognitive distortions. In other words, if there was a traumatic event in your life that has influenced you to have a negative story looping in your head, you can essentially put a different frame on it so that you're telling a different, more empowering story. Let's try it with these examples, putting on an I'm screwed frame or an I'm grateful frame. Getting fired from a job. I'm screwed. No one will employ me, and there's no way I can earn a decent income. I'm grateful. I have a get out of jail free card out of a job I hated anyways, and now have time to look for something that better suits my strengths and interests. Break up in a relationship. I'm screwed. I'm unlovable and broken. I'll never find anyone again. I'm grateful. I learned a lot from this relationship and learned about what qualities I want or don't want in a future relationship. Neglected, abusive childhood. I'm screwed. All my life I've known instability, and I'm destined to repeat how I was raised with my own children. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for gaining the perseverance to be successful in spite of my upbringing and have models of what not to do when raising my own children. Suffering with depression and anxiety. I'm screwed. Life is meaningless and I'll never be happy. What's the point? I'm grateful. I'm not alone with this challenge, and it will remind me to be even more mindful of practicing self-care on a daily basis. By managing this, I can also help others going through a similar situation. Loved one passes away. I'm screwed. I have a huge hole in my heart and will live the rest of my life being incomplete. My life will never be the same. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have had this person in my life for that many years. He or she has brought me so much joy. My life will never be the same, but I will try to find ways to continue in a meaningful, purposeful way. The way you frame your experiences is so powerful because it influences how you live your life as well as your overall health and well-being. You may have heard stories of people who seemingly had it all from the outside looking in, crash and burn emotionally, while others who have come from nothing or have experienced overwhelming adversity achieve a sense of their own personal success and fulfillment. That's why sometimes it helps to vent to an empathetic friend who listens to you, as you are able to verbalize the story you're telling yourself, and in some instances, reframe the way you think about the experience on your own. I'm sometimes surprised when some of my students thank me for helping them when I don't recall sharing any particular words of wisdom to them. All I tried to do was be present with them and hold a space that allows them to feel comfortable with opening up and being themselves. It's also helpful when you hear from other people who have undergone similar experiences as you share the strategies they used to overcome their circumstances, because it gives you ideas on how to overcome your own. In some cases, however, it's not enough to talk to a trusted friend or hear from others undergoing similar circumstances. It may be a better option to seek professional help to better identify these negative, limiting stories that have run your life. That's why I'm such a huge proponent of going to therapy. Therapists are trained to help you see your blind spots and cope with your trauma. As I mentioned in my first video, I'm so glad I personally took the leap to seek therapy. With my debilitating depression and anxiety and grief over the loss of my loved ones, it was invaluable being able to process this with a therapist so I can do the scary work of reframing my trauma so that I have a set of useful tools I can use to move forward. So where do you go from here? Which stories have you been telling yourself that keep you within the victim mindset? Which stories can you start telling yourself that empower you and help you start taking action towards your goals? You might be noticing a theme here with me, but a start can be journaling your thoughts. Another can be reaching out to a trusted friend or family member with what's bothering you. Another can be finding a therapist that's a good fit for you and your unique needs. Since your perception is your reality, you might as well perceive the world in a way that's meaningful instead of meaningless. If you're having trouble with this, please make it your priority to seek help. In a quote attributed to Albert Einstein, there are two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Wishing you peace and love.